Hi, first grade. Today for math, we are going to continue talking about solid figures. And yesterday, if you remember, we learned about the attributes or properties of solid figures and the way that we identify solid figures. So for a quick review, here we have our cube, which has 6 flat surfaces and 8 vertices. And here we have our rectangular prism, which also has 6 flat surfaces and 8 vertices. Here we have our cylinder, which has 2 flat surfaces and 0 vertices. Over here, our cone, which has 1 flat surface and 1 vertex, and our sphere, which has 0 flat surfaces and 0 vertices. So you may notice that I have the solid figures grouped into 3 different groups. And we can use the attributes or the properties of solid figures to sort them or group them, just like we did with our plane shapes. So I'm going to give you just a second to think about why I sorted these the way that I did. Okay, if you had a minute to think, it does have to do with the number of flat surfaces that these shapes have. And the flat surfaces affect whether or not they can do certain things. So I put the cube and the rectangular prism together because they can both be stacked. Because they have flat surfaces, we could stack the cube on top of the rectangular prism or a rectangular prism on top of the cube. They are stackable solid figures. I came over here and I put the cone and the sphere in the same group because they both have a curved surface and they can both roll. So the sphere, like if you've ever played with a soccer ball, basketball, you know that a sphere could roll, whichever way you throw it. A cone will roll around in a circle, but on that curved surface, it is able to roll. Now I put the cylinder here in the middle because the cylinder can do both. The cylinder can be stacked because it has flat surfaces, but because it also has a curved surface, it can also roll. So that the cylinder can do both. So I have solid figures that can be stacked, solid figures that can roll, and solid figures that can do both. So we use, again, those attributes or properties to help identify, sort, classify, describe these solid figures. So today in your seesaw activity, you are going to do 2 different things. First will be to answer a couple of questions. They'll give you a sorting rule and you'll circle the solid figures that follow that rule. And then on the second page of the second student response page on Seesaw, you're going to record yourself explaining how a cylinder and a cone are both alike and different. So you'll tell at least one way that they're alike and at least one way that they are different. All right, and that will be our math for today. Keep up the great work and talk with you soon.